What so many people don't truly understand is when you truly research our ancient history, thousands of years ago, we were a lot more intelligent than we are today. We had abilities of the animals. Our DNA was more enlightened. A lot of scientists speak about Saturn and Jupiter that were actually suns. Talk about Saturn being a sun, Jupiter being a sun, and the sun. So we had three suns on this planet. The sun is our energy. It is our wisdom. And as Jupiter and Saturn was destroyed, we were left with one sun, depleted a lot of our DNA. For example, the movie Superman is on the basis of the energy from the sun. We do get our energy from the sun. And when it talks about the Garden of Eden, if we had three suns, it would circle the earth 3 times, and we would never be in darkness. They would never be polar ice caps. It would be perfect weather, no hurricanes, nothing. It would be a perfect Garden of Eden 24 hours a day. A lot of people don't truly understand the power of ancient history and how the masses, the globalists, the Zionists, the bankers, the oil corporations are trying so hard to cover up the knowledge of the ancient past. Watch your Hollywood movies and see that the Nazis were trying to grab information about our ancient past. And that information, crystal skulls, things like that, we had computer technology. And what you have to understand is your mind holds memory within water. So water is memory. And all you have to do is to pull that memory out of water is a certain hertz. And that's what I believe that modern day mind control is, television mind control. It's working on a certain frequency. The television is sending a wave pattern of sound, a chimatical sound that it's a certain vibration. You understand energy, you understand everything is an energy vibration. It is a sound vibration, kymatics. And they send, with that carrier frequency, they send a separate frequency that literally programs your mind. Now, a lot of people are susceptible. They don't really listen to that stuff. They're critical thinkers. They're right brain. They're shielded. You know that energy shield that Jesus had around his head? And they live in the heart. You have to understand something. The heart sends out a radiation frequency, just like the earth has a magnetosphere. Your heart has a tremendous magnetosphere. There's a lot of people that are left on this planet that think critically. In other words, when they watch television, they watch it objectively. And they don't really believe everything that they hear. To where I would say 88% of the population today, it's all their information from other people or television. They repeat that. And the popular thing with them is to repeat that popular information. And they form groups. And we can't lie about forming groups. Forming groups like religions, social, secret societies. All this is Satanism. And you have to understand something. This is why I used to be part of the Catholic Church. I've explored the Mormon Church. I know a lot of them very well. But they're all gangs. They're groups. And these groups separate you from people. And the object is to separate you from people. That's what the television objection is. That's what Catholicism, that's what Mormonism, that's all of what it is to separate the masses, keep you fighting amongst yourselves, to make you feel like you're the elite, a separate group, you're better than other people, and it makes you live in the world of fear and hate. And when you live in the world of fear and hate, you cannot live in the heart. We still have a lot of people left on this planet that live within the realm of the heart. I believe that that's what Jesus was talking about in the 144,000. That's what the whole religion of Calvinism and Judaism was. It was talking about the special people that are still left on this earth. I believe that they still carry that gene of our ancient ancestors. Because when you study science and when you study medical industry, you'll see that the Europeans did everything they could to kill all the shaman Indians. The shamans knew how to naturally heal. Of course, they painted a picture that they were savages, came in and they killed them. These people were not savages. It is a factual proof that they were farmers mostly. They had a lot of technology of living in unity and harmony with them. They believed in the energy of and the spirit of the buffalo and everything that was alive. It was one with nature. The tree of life. What do we have in our current medical industry? We have a serpent crawling up the tree of life. And the only people who have the wings are the Illuminati, or the Bilderbergs, or the Rothschilds, or the Rockefellers, the elite of the elite, the kings and the queens, the people who sit on thrones, like the Roman empires that led all the way down to Catholicism, the Vatican, and then of course you've got titles that give elites, like Hollywood. Of course, politics is Hollywood for ugly people. Very, very well known by a lot of people now. There's about 88% of the population that will watch my video and say, okay, that guy's a crack conspiracy theorist, because the television has programmed you to only respond to a certain hertz. My voice is on a hertz that is totally separate than television mind-altering programming. So as soon as I open my mouth, you put your hand up and you don't even want to hear what people have to say, because your only response is through that hertz. That's what your school systems are. That's what your television is. That's what Hollywood is. That's what movies are. Politics are. What happened is you're stuck. You're caught in this matrix, a circle, and you can't break free, because the only thing that'll break you free is no sin, no possessions. You have to give up your works for banks and evil organizations. And literally every corporation in America works for a bank. I don't care if you cut grass or you build houses for a living and you're independent. You're still buying the supplies from the corporations supporting the corporations. You're still paying a house payment that they've inflated the dollar to where your house is only worth about $3,000 in real life money, if not even that, and they've inflated it to $300,000. So you live your life paying the kings. That's like walking up to the feet of the kings, kissing their feet and giving them gifts every month for your house and your car on a monthly basis. And literally, I would say 99% of America literally spends everything that they make. The reason why I say 99 is because I believe that there are about 2% of people that are wealthy, maybe 3, 4. But what's happening, there's a lot of people that are spending 120% of what they make. So they're going bankrupt and in debt, and they're not paying bills. They can't pay their credit card. They can't pay their taxes, things like that. And when you understand taxes and banking like I do, I've worked in banking. I've worked in media. And I'm very, very familiar with this. Now, because I was a critical thinker, so every corporation that I went to, I literally mastered the knowledge. But my point to this video is the knowledge that people like the 144,000 get. What they're doing is they're reading the minds of the earth. They're connected to the energies of the earth. So therefore, they're communicating with all the people around the planet that are connected to this Schumann resonance of the earth. Everything's connected. The animals are connected. The birds, the bees, the oceans, the fish, people. Everything's connected to Schumann resonance unless you live in the evil matrix, which is about 88% of the population. When you're tied to if you're totally devoted to money, and you're committed to money and job, then you're part of an association that separates you from truth and God. You're part of the 88%. If you live your life for religion, then you're part of the 88%. If you live your life paying for your house or drugs or all these sex, everything that's in the lower part of the chakra, if you live your life for the lower part of your chakra, you are the 88%, and therefore you will hear everything that I say as the opposite of reality. You won't even watch 1 minute of my voice, because the resonance of my energies will literally set your ears on fire, because Satan has got you under control that much. And you have to understand something. This hertz, this energy, this dimension is a satanic dimension. Watch daytime and nighttime TV and your popular movies. It is demigods, multi-gods, people killing people, shooting people, and everybody hates mommy and daddy. Everybody hates brother and sister. It is, even your football is men battling men. You have to battle men. Soccer, battle men. Everything that's popular in sports, men battling men. Basketball, battle, 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 instead of people uniting as one. This dirty energy has hit our planet all since the time of Adam and Eve. That's what the temptation that happened. Jesus was a man who came and he spoke truth. And there was so much mind altering going on at that particular time. 2,000 years ago, yes, they had the technology of mind control. Absolutely they did. And when you really, really decode the Bible and you really understand who the enemy is, when you read the Bible and you know who the enemy is, the picture of what really happened so much relates to today. It so coincides. Now, if you're part of that 528 certain hertz that works outside of the realm of God, for example, I'm going to prove this to you, prove my theory. Can your eyes visually see all the lights in the spectrum? No, it cannot. Can your eyes see microwave radiation energy? No, it cannot. Can it see radio energy? No, it cannot. Can it see internet energy? Wireless? No, it cannot. But you know that there's data being transferred. I mean, how does your computer pick up all this data and it's not plugged into a wire? Well, let me tell you, how does your television from a TV antenna just sticking up in the air, how does it pick up all this data? Energy and communication is just flowing all around the planet. And what's happening and why the world and the earth is being so disturbed is because instead of the natural energies of Schumann resonance, the natural energies of the earth, influxing ourselves with EMF, EMR, infrasonic, ultrasonic radiation, that's what HARP technology is. That's what all of these weapons, smart meters, cell towers, cell phones. Why do you think a cell phone has the bite out of the apple as the symbol? It is dirty energy. It is strictly satanic in nature. I can't believe that people can't connect to the bite out of the apple. As soon as I saw Apple computer bite out of the apple, as soon as I knew that, immediately I associated it with Satanism. This is what happens with people that are connected to the wireless internet of God. And this is the 144,000. This is Calvinism. And you hear a theory about called gang stalking right now going on. This is real. These are private corporations hired by the CIA and secret ops and all these black ops governments. And they're using the police and the state troopers to surveillance people because they control credit reports, they control work history, they control your criminal records. They own the courts. They are the courts. Look at a judge. He wears a black robe, sits on a throne with a hammer of Osiris and Thor. And he judges mankind when God says, do not judge. He throws stones at people when Jesus said, do not throw stones. Not only that, it's not even American. You board a ship when you enter the ship. And who created America? They killed all the shaman Indians, and Columbus came over here, the European civilization. That's why we have a banking charter that all the interest for the United States, I think America gets like, 0.50%. I know, I was in banking, and the Federal Reserve gets the rest, and the Federal Reserve is owned by the Rothschilds and Rockefellers, the elite of the elite of the elite. And this is why there's people on drugs and Satanism on TV, because they own everything in your life. Everything. There is not one thing you own. Matter of fact, there's hardly no job that you can do that doesn't force you to take money or to give money to these corporations. Look at Walmart, a Babylon that comes in, and Babylon builds its virus and it infects the whole city. Literally, Walmart is yesterday's pyramids. They're energy-emitting viruses that come into your town and just suck everything dry. No more small business in. You'll notice that the local police, they only work for the corporations. If a corporation has a problem with an employee, or they've got somebody that steals, the police are there in 2 seconds arresting people. Because it is major tax dollars, tax revenue. But what they don't understand, the police, is that if they had multiple small businesses, that the cities would actually be bigger and grow more. And they would have freedom from the corporations. So it's a win-win-win situation to eradicate Walmart in your city. The first thing that your mayor should do is get rid of Walmart. And people go, well, we're going to get rid of all these tax dollars. No, you're not. People are still going to consume everything. You just consume it from local people that put the money back into the community instead of taking it and building an Israeli army like Walmart does. You have to understand that you've been invaded already. You've been invaded hundreds of years ago. Every war that we fought in America was financed by the Rothschilds and Rockefellers. Every drug and every medicine that you take, Rockefeller. Our colleges are in debt to Rockefeller. Our states are in debt to Henry Rockefeller, oil, petrodollar, and Rothschild, fiat currency. We are slaves Right now, they're attacking cities with weather modification, weather warfare, weather engineering, geoengineering. That's what Hurricane Katrina was. They come in, they attack, they place your cities, they place permit offices and government facilities, they raise your taxes, they change your permits, they put smart meters on your house, pumping radiation through your people. They're doing everything that they can to make money because that smart meter is pumping radiation. And by the way, they can pump radiation to anybody they want. They can select a particular person. You're talking about the IRS picking on people. Those smart meters can pick on your house. They reverse engineer your negative wires and they pump radiation throughout your house. I know, I have it in mind. And do you know that CLECO will not take it off the house? Period. I've written letters. I've sent letters. I've been to offices. I put a sign out there. They will not take it off. They threaten me. They bully me. Oh, if you touch that, you're going to be arrested. That's what they told me. I said, how are you going to arrest me? Under what authority do you arrest me? So, guys, we live in a complete mind-altered society. Your water is poisoned. Your foods are poisoned. And they just planting poisons in your mind, chemicals. Right now, you can't even drink water without having Prozac, fluoride, all these estrogens. Fish are turning from male to female just by swimming in the rivers because there's so much estrogen in the water. Guys, what you don't understand, when your child takes ADD medication and you flush the toilet, then you are polluting the planet. You're not just polluting other people, but you're detoxifying. You're making the entire planet, generation after generation after generation, drink your ADD. We have no way of filtering it. The ground doesn't even filter these drugs. They're nanoparticulates. That's what chemtrails are. Nanoparticulates. And those of you who don't think chemtrails are real, you are a complete psychopath. Planes do not fly by and leave trails. How can you not remember? How is your memory so short? Is your brain that filled with fluoride that you can't remember a plane? How it used to fly, it left a little trail and it just dissipated because it's ice crystals, water vapor. That's the same as saying, yeah, when I talk in the cold, and I'm walking, let's say I'm jogging a mile and I'm breathing and I'm pumping out water vapor, then the trail should be all the way around the block and it should just stay there. Guys, come on. How can you believe this crap? And you know what they call chemtrails? Conspiracy theories. Jesse Ventura, of course, a political yes man, puppet, brown nose, sticking his nose so far up the banker cronies and the oil corporations that he can't even breathe, created conspiracy theory. So people now, because of the mind control television, and everybody gets their information from everybody else, associate chemtrails, geoengineering, weather warfare with conspiracy theory when it's actually happening. Why do you believe that God would attack your city with floods and droughts? He is not a violent God. Oh, the end of the times are coming. No, he's not. He wants you to live on the Garden of Eden. He wants you to live in love, but we don't. However, Mother Earth is programmed like a computer to fight back if she's threatened. And God's not going to do anything about that. That's just the way the world turns. You know, that daytime drama TV, they love putting that stuff on you. Guys, I watch the newscasters. Their lips are moving, they're lying. And then they got commercials that they're dancing in the streets. Oh my gosh, mind control. Soft kitty, mind control. Everything stays the same. Everything's going to be okay. While they're spraying you with chemtrails, fracking and poisoning your water. And what's so amazing is everybody that's taken Oxycontin, Prozac, ADD, psychological medications, every time you urinate, you are poisoning the planet. The animals, the birds, the bees, they're all dying because of your ignorance. Stop taking pills. The planet doesn't filter these nanoparticulates. They were designed to spread Prozac all over the planet, estrogen all over the planet. You see, every war was fought by men. If they turn all the men into homosexuals and non-confrontational, that's why the law, oh, he's a violent offender. What did he do? Well, he was trying to get custody of the kids. So he's a violent... What? What is violent about you, a father, wanting to be with your children? Have you lost your mind? Why can't you see the big picture like I do? But what I'm trying to tell you is I don't care if it's possessions. I don't care if it's money, mortgages, houses, religions. I don't care what's holding you back. You have to break free. If you do not, the suffering that your children's children's children and you will go through in the next few years will be so far beyond you can ever imagine. You have no idea what Mother Earth can do once she decides to shake us off like a bunch of fleas. And what do you think weather modification is? They heat up the stratosphere with HAARP. They spray in particulates in the air. They're creating low and high pressure systems by moving these troughs around with HAARP. They're creating rain. And what happens? Mother Nature says, well, that's not where I want it to rain. So she creates these giant storms and weather systems. And she's trying to survive. And they're trying to kill her. Mother Nature's going, wait a minute, this is not right. I need to fix this. And she's constantly trying to fix herself while they're constantly trying to play God with the weather. This is what chemtrails, geoengineering, weather warfare, weather modification, weather engineering. The reason why there's so many names for it is because they want you to stay confused. That's kind of like the medical industry. They got a name for every disease. I'll tell you what autism, Alzheimer's, dementia, and every mental disorder is. Too much poison in the brain. Thank you very much. That is it. There's no other name. They've got, what, hundreds of names for mental disorders. Oh, he has got paranoid schizophrenic. No, he doesn't. They have too much poison in the brain. And those poisons affect different portions of the brain. So they create different names for different damaged portions of the brain. It is poisoned, and it was done by design, pre-planned, pre-designed by I.G. Farben, Rockefeller. Nowadays, our doctors not only have the symbol of the serpent as their symbol, crawling up the tree of life, strangling the tree of life. What does a tree do? You ever thought about this? What does a seed do? You know, Mr. Monsanto, what does a seed do? Why do you want to destroy the seed, Monsanto? Because you see, a seed is smarter than most of your 80. A seed is smarter than 88% of the people in the world. The rest of the population is reaching for the light. The seed reaches for the light. Your dog knows to reach for the light. Your chickens. A tree, its whole life spends just reaching for the sunlight, gathering the energy, growing towards God. What is it doing? It's growing taller. What does a beanstalk do? It grows taller towards the light. The higher it gets, the higher it gets. What was Jesus? Jesus went to the Mount of Olives. What did Moses do? Moses went to the mountain. What did Noah do? Noah went to the mountain. They all went to the mountains for wisdom. If you understand history, Galileo did the same thing. He was obsessed with the stars. Incredible, wise man. Tesla, obsessed with energy. What is the sun? Energy. Guys, everyone that was obsessed with starlight, energy. What are the stars? Stars are energy. What is Tesla? He created free energy. Of course, they changed it, and now we have smart meters thanks to Tesla. The demon. What is his fault? He wanted to give the world free energy. They wanted to give the world secret weapons like smart meters, infrasonic, ultrasonic radiation. Something that's slowly killing you right now. You're unaware. I'm being slowly killed right now because I'm sitting by a computer and it's emitting radiation. I did a test online to where I put honey and peanut butter next to the computer, and the honey turned into water within about 5 minutes. Guys, what is a microwave? A microwave is just radio, infrasonic, ultrasonic radiation. It's on a certain hertz, and it boils water within a minute. This is what's happening to your body. This is why cancer is being caused, because you're constantly being microwaved. Now chemtrails are turning the sun into UVB rays. Not UV, that gives you energy, but UVB. That means it's cancerous. It's an X-ray, a gamma ray. UVB is just right next to X-ray and gamma ray. We can't live in X-ray and gamma ray. We die slowly in that radiation poisoning. Go watch Star Trek. He climbed into a radiation vent and he tried to make it to the top to fix the engine, the warp drive. He died on his way home. That was incredible amount of radiation. Well, there wasn't nothing. You couldn't see anything when he was trying to fix it. He was just fine radiation. That's what a microwave is. You know it's so amazing people still use it to cook their food? Do you know what it does to food? 0 nutrients. It radiates it, and you're eating it. So you're eating radiated food. I haven't used a microwave in probably 10 years. I refuse to use that dirty energy machine. I will not use it. Nowadays, with chemtrails, I used to move my way through the curve, trying to find the healthiest thing that I can. But nowadays with chemtrails, there is nothing that you can eat that is not toxic. Nothing. And when they contain bottled water, that's the worst thing you could ever drink. And when they frack your land, they use over 100 chemicals. They pump it into the water, poisoning the aquifers for eternity. And you say, well, why would they do that, Jesse Ventura, you moron? Well, I'll tell you why they do it. Because they have the technology to filter it. They put the chemicals in. They've already tested it. They know they can filter it. And they'll filter it for themselves. Plus, they've got storage. That's why China's been coming in with ships sucking water out of the Great Lake. Jesse, you did a show about that. Because let me tell you one thing about water. Water has got more energy than anybody knows. Your whole life, everything that you know is wrong. Did you know that the fuel in your car will not ignite without water? That's why water comes out of your tailpipe. Don't talk about condensation. That's so much horse crap. There is a percentage of water in that fuel, and that's why the car ignites. Hydropower is so powerful because water contains the atom. You have no idea how much power is in water. You see, they know this atomic energy. But the reason why they put nuclear power plants all around America is so that they can bomb you in the metropolis area. You notice in Cheyenne Mountain, there's no nuclear energy weapon generators, nor in Utah, nor in New Mexico where they've got Area 51. We've got to do something. We've got to somehow unite and break away from this bond of people getting information from other people. Why do you believe, let's say if you want to date somebody, first thing you do is run to the computer and run a background check. Why would you do that when you have to understand that your enemy is the one who owns the background check? The banks, the oil companies, they created it. I know. I was in banking. I watched them create. And then I watched them say, well, this guy did it. No, he didn't. You did it. And they controlled it. And I watched them rip people off. Read about the LIBOR scandal. I watched the LIBOR scandal. It was amazing how much money they were stealing from America, European bankers, European world bankers, globalists, elite. They're not from America. The money did not go back to America. Even your income tax goes to AIPAC, which bills the Israeli army. The United States and the Israeli army is army for the Rockefellers. And then Rockefeller owns oil corporations with Russia. So they control Russia too. Literally, the New World Order is here. That's why your water's poisoned. That's why they're poisoning your air, because they feel like they own everything. You don't understand the real policy of politics. The things that they talk about that are happening, like the North American Union. Why is Mexico coming here? Why are Canadians coming here? Because Bush signed the North American Union a long time ago, and so did Obama. So our nations are united already. But of course, the media is not going to tell you that your Constitution is null and void thanks to this treaty. They're going to wait till a global war or a global event to spring it on you. But it's already in effect. You guys live by this fictional media and you don't know what reality is. Stop listening to it. Stop forming gangs and form one God gang. That's it. If your religion can't unite with all the religions on the planet, then you are a cult. I love you all. God bless.